TempahZone.
How's it going, everybody? Wherever you listen to this podcast right here, this is episode 97 of the TempahZone podcast with your host, me, Amir Max, and that's all facts. And ladies and gentlemen, my special guest on the podcast today is a spitter. My man Flo right here is stupid. One of the best flows I've heard out here, man. The dude's only 18, and it's very impressive to
19
see.
now.
19? You're 19 now? Okay. I just saw that. I just saw it's on the Spotify bio. So, yeah. 19, man, killing it. Straight out of New Hampshire, man. I got Aaron Brown on the Zoom call. What's going on, man? How's it going?
Hey, not much, man. Just, working. Always grinding music-wise, but, working otherwise, standard shit, Monday through Friday type job. Just grinding through COVID, Just got to do what you got to do to stay busy.
Yeah, man, I totally feel you, man. And I can definitely tell you on a mission right now, man. I can definitely tell you got that game plan just ready to go. Do you think it's the times that we're in right now that got you working the way you are? What would you say has been, some ways you've been staying occupied during all this?
Definitely. I think the time actually, although it sets a lot of people back in most ways, like obviously shows are shut down, stuff like that. It's a lot harder. We got bars over bars doing the live stream shows though, which is super sick to continue that.
Absolutely.
But obviously live crowds have suffered a lot. So it's obviously a lot harder to gain exposure through that means. But I think it also gave a huge advantage, obviously, because it made everyone take to the internet, Everyone had to go straight to online. So it was such an opportunity, especially in the beginning, if you really took off with it, to get yourself to the forefront in a way, just get more eyes on your stuff. And I've been staying busy by, standard stuff. Like I said, working a lot, 40 hours, 55 hours a week. So just grinding, just trying to stack up some, money to put back into the music, back into the projects. And other than that, really, it's just music. And I'll game a little bit here and there, just take my mind off it. Just relax.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you got to have something on the side that isn't just working music, bro.
Run up some movies or something like that.
Yeah.
I peeped that Justice League movie, that Zack Snyder cut. Man, that thing was insane.
I still got to watch that, man. 4-hour movie. So.
No, it's 4 hours, bro, but you're going to be locked in the whole time, man. I swear. It's crazy.
Nah, I gotta check that out, man. I mean, that's been on my queue of movies that I gotta check out, and so I'm behind. There's been some good shit that's been coming out so far, so I definitely gotta check that out. Everybody's been saying it's good, so yeah, man, I'm gonna have to peep that, man. But how do you think you've been doing with just managing your time? Because you said you've been working 40 hours a week and just working on the music. How's that been, just with the time management?
Yeah, I mean, so as far as my day goes, I mean, I kind of write all the time. I'm always thinking about music, even when I'm working. It's always in the back of my head. Music's the thing that keeps my whole day going. I always got an earbud in, just getting me through the day. So I always have a notepad, or I got my phone. I just type a quick note if I think of any ideas, when it comes to bars, or even just a song structure, or an idea for what I want to talk about on the song, type of stuff like that, or even beats and stuff. Cause I cook up with Knox and stuff like that. So if I think of an idea for a vibe I want to go with, I'll shoot it over to him as well. So,
yeah, man, I think it's super important to capture those creative moments that you get. Cause I feel like if you just rely on your memory to just remember that, one line or that one little concept, you might forget about it. And that could be, on the great concepts you could really base stuff around. So I think it's so important to just keep a notepad around or keep the phone around to jot those stuff down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. So other than always just trying to do it whenever I can, it really all comes down to when I get out of work. So I work 4 a.m. to 4 in the afternoon. So I have my whole evenings to me. So as soon as I get home, I really, I'll shower, eat, do whatever I got to do. And then it's just, I kind of get to work, I'll just come sit in the room, throw beats on. I've been trying to learn to produce myself a little bit. I got a machine, actually. So I've been trying to fuck around and flip some samples and stuff like that. Just really do something that I can fully call my own. You know?
Like, yo, I made the beat, I rapped over, I wrote it. Yeah, I feel you.
The whole thing. Like, I mean, yeah, so it's definitely dope. And the weekends a lot. The weekends come into play the most for sure. That's when I can really lock in. That's when I could go to the studio to record if I need to. So I have most of my time on the weekends.
Yeah, man, that's good. You gotta utilize that time, man, especially when you're working the amount you are. It's just all about capitalizing in those free time that you have. Because I mean, the older you get, the more you realize like how valuable time is, and if you ain't using that shit wisely, it's just not gonna help out with what you're trying to get to. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, not at all, man. I feel you.
Yeah, so I definitely, it's dope to see that you're on that grind, man. It takes time to get to where you are at, and you're still young, man. You're still doing your thing. What were your beginnings when it came to making music? Talk about how you got into rapping the way you did, all that.
Oh, all right. So the first person that ever, I guess, really got me into rap, because my family never listened to too much rap. They listened to like a lot of rock and roll, stuff like that. My mom likes country. I don't really like country at all. To each their own.
Yeah, of course.
my dad never liked rap too much, but here and there, he listened to a lot of Tupac though, like all the time. So that's, if I heard rap coming from him, that's what I hear. But my brother, Tim, he used to rap. That's what he was doing growing up forever. I remember watching him ever since I was like 4 or 5 years old. I'd sit in his room at the time when he lived with us. I just remember watching him record on like his laptop and stuff. Like, he was always doing it himself. And he's who I record with now at the moment, actually. So we do everything together when I'm not with Knox. So everything you're going to hear after this Knox stuff coming up, we'll talk about it later, I'm sure, is going to be recorded by me and my brother. So I watched him growing up, and that really inspired me. Because it always looked like so much fun. I don't know. He was just always that cool. Like, to me, in my eyes, that he's the cool older brother. Like, he's like a rapper. He's a star.
Yeah.
He was. So it's super chill. And definitely the connections I think I watched him go through, because he didn't necessarily get the farthest, but he definitely did do like some things. I don't know if you're familiar with Mims or not.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So he met Mims and he made a song with Mims, and that was like a huge, he did everything in his eyes that he wanted to do, because at that point in time, he saw me starting to rap. And that was, I think I was finally about like 13 years old. And that was a start. And he always used to tell me, I remember I probably would have dropped my first song ever when I was like 13.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's young.
He always told me, he's like, because we record all the time, and I'd be like, yo, let's put this out. Like, come on. Like, and he's just like, hold on. He's like, just keep writing, keep doing your thing. He's like, just hold on. Like, we'll build stuff up. He's like, just hold on. And then sure enough, over time, eventually we'd play like the old stuff back, and it would just be like, oh man, nah, I don't like that. Like, why did I ever? So it's just like, definitely, he was like, yeah, see what I'm saying? You got to hold on. Like, definitely take your time, focus on stuff. My other big influence, I'd say, for why I'm rapping, not necessarily like, I guess, my current styles, because it's always evolving. Your taste and inspiration change.
Of course, yeah. I mean, you're always gonna find ways and do different things to take on the older you get. So
absolutely. But I definitely say my other main inspiration for sure has got to be Logic. Probably the artist in the rap game that I relate to the most. He's just super nerdy, like just fun dude. Made a whole album about space, so that shit was just cool. It resonated with me in a different way. And I found him back in 2012. So I was in like I think like 8th grade.
Yeah, so you're early on the Logic train, because because I feel like once he dropped Everybody, that's when he was really once it really took off.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, they know who
it was. Wasn't 8th grade? It was 6th grade, because 2014 was 8th grade, and that's when Under Pressure came out. So that's my bad. But I remember it because of Modern Warfare 2 was like the biggest game like at the time, and I was always watching like FaZe and stuff like that on YouTube, like the trick shot people, and they used one of his songs, The Spotlight, actually in like the montage, and like that went viral, and like that's how I found him. I found him just through watching like FaZe all the time because he was really cool with them and stuff. So yeah, that's really what made me kind of appreciate the grind for music more, because that's an artist that I got to see from a very, not necessarily a very small stature, but like kind of where I am now, like, you know, a few thousand followers, like 2,000 followers, and then go to this huge thing with like 7 million followers now. You know, it's crazy. So it definitely makes me appreciate the grind, and truly respect that, you know, it doesn't happen overnight, even though sometimes it might seem like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it can seem like it with this music stuff, man. People don't tend to look at the journey and the climb. They just tend to skip to how you got there, you know, and when you got there, and they just don't look at the history of what it took for you to grind and work to that point you're gonna get to, man. And you know, you gotta just definitely stay patient in this game, man. You know, nothing comes overnight, and you know, you have that understanding. And I think that's just important to see, man. I think, you know, it's good that you have an older brother who's just as into the music as you are, because you know, I think, you know, when you have family members that are down with you for what you're doing, it helps so much, man, because you always got someone there you can send stuff to, and like, yo, what you think of this, what you think of that, and can
Absolutely
keep it honest with you, I would assume, right?
Yeah, all the time. He always keeps it honest. Even my other family, like my mom, my dad, they've always been super supportive of what I've done, you know, but they've always been realistic, of course, too. Like, don't put your eggs in one basket, stuff like that. I think definitely once I linked up with Knox, you know, they took me a little more, not that they didn't take me seriously, but they definitely took it a little more seriously, because they see that someone else who is kind of in the game and has their foot in the business actually has an interest in me and thinks that I can do something. So I think it definitely kind of brings a little bit more relief to them for like me truly just running for it, you know?
Absolutely, man. I think you know, don't put your eggs in one basket's a real thing. You know, them cliche sayings, man, they're dope, you know, they're cliche for a reason. I think one of, you know, that one's a good one, because it's like, you know, in life, you know, you just don't know what could happen 3-5 years from now. And so, you know, if you commit too hard to something, you might, you know, it could be the biggest mistake you make. So it's always good to have, you know, stuff open, man. But I definitely feel you know, like, you know, with this music shit, we want it. So you just gotta go for it. You know what I mean? You just gotta go for that shit. Yeah, so I definitely hear you on that, man. The relationship you have with Knox, working with him, man. Having a producer there you can, you know, rely on. How much would you say it has helped you with just your career in general?
Oh man, I want to say it definitely helped me a lot. I remember the first track that I did with him, he co-produced. It was Perfecto, and that was produced by Cody Beats. So shout out Cody. But yeah, that was what I walked up to him with. I feel like if I hadn't done the tracks I've made with Knox, so it's there's 10 of them. Mm-hmm. There's 2 that we get to drop. I just the other night on the Bars Over Bars Wednesday stream, I exclusively premiered a little sneak peek of one of the songs that's left. So that should be cool. So I remember walking up to, you know, Knox with those first records that I had the night I met him. I met him at the Token concert, actually. So
okay,
it was Token's headline show for his Somewhere in Between World Tour.
Oh, and, shit, yeah.
It was right in Boston, so it was like his hometown. So that Knox was there, and I just remember I got to rap for Token that night in that little VIP thing, and that was really cool, fun experience. You know, I got to talk to him a little bit. He liked my verse that I spit for him, like on the cypher or whatever. So he was like, you know, a little props, like respect, stuff like that. And I remember walking around like the venue later that night with my brother. You know, we were just talking to different people, trying to, you know, promote myself too a little bit, because there were some big names that, not necessarily big names, but there were some people there who could definitely like bring help to us for sure.
Yeah.
We just get our name out there a little bit, because it's, you know, it was Token's hometown show. So he was kind of bringing in everyone who was close around there, that was close to him, you know, to like celebrate in a way.
Absolutely.
We're on the second floor of the venue, and I ended up seeing Knox. I walked up to him. I remember he was he was a little bit drunk, but yeah, I was talking to him, and I was just just giving him props. He produced everything on the album. So I was like, dude, I love like all these beats are like fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Mind blowing, bro. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you, holy crap, man. Like, he's on something different, bro. It's probably all the green teas and stuff that he drinks, man.
They say green tea is good for you, man. But yeah, man, I think it's so dope to hear that you have a producer by your side who's doing his thing, established and obviously talented, because I think a lot of times artists don't understand the details that go into finding a beat and using a beat and putting it out, all those details that go into it. So if you are in connection with the producer that you have, man, I mean, it cuts out so many issues that you may deal with in the future. Like if you have a song that blows up from some random producer, like that could get a little, dicey down the road. So it's good to have a relationship with the producers that you're working with,
Absolutely. And just that chemistry makes like doing things easier. I love finding beats on YouTube. Like you can always find like there's a lot of soulful producers out there who really care a lot about what they're doing if you find them. So like that's great. But I often love more creating from scratch. So that's what I love about Knox. And the fact that we've already kind of built a relationship with the records we've made in the past. We have such a nicer chemistry for how we can like move in the future. So it's just, definitely building a relationship is a key thing for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. And on top of that too, like, if you find a beat on YouTube with, 1 million views, 2 million views, and you release that, how many other people have that song? Like
right?
you try to Shazam a song that a bunch of people used, it might not even pop up and be yours. Like that's the type of shit people aren't thinking about. And so
all the time.
It's always good to get as many original beats, like straight from scratch, like you said, to do, because, it's always good to have, real original stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I think you're doing a good job with that, man. With the style that you got though, I definitely want to ask you, because, I love that fast flow that you hit, in those, the bars, man. I want to ask you though, I mean, you must see, people make fun of people who rap fast or people who rap, lyrical, miracle, spiritual stuff. You see people shit on Eminem. It's weird, weird times that we're in with people making fun of Eminem the way they do.
For sure, man.
What do you think of that culture that's building up now that seems to be more prevalent like every year? What do you think of all that going on?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's such a wild thing I think there definitely hits like, there's that threshold that you can cross, where it definitely is like too much. Even so for me, like I haven't hit so on my upcoming stuff, I don't really go necessarily too fast. I mean, there's a here and there, I love.
Sometimes you gotta hit them with some speed just to let them know you can do it.
But I've been stepping away a little bit more just because, I like to, there's something Knox even told me, just through working with him, let the beat breathe a little bit, it's people love the shock, and they love tuning in. Like sometimes when people rap fast, it is a great grabber, but at the same time, you can lose people too. You want to be able to get people like slow it down, let them just resonate with like lyrics, break it up. You don't need to be, all the time. So it's definitely, it's got a time and a place for sure is what I'll say, I'll never knock it ever. So I feel like anyone just not hating is just hating, because it definitely does at least take skill. They might make fun of it because like, oh, all he's saying is lyrical, miracle, spiritual. But sometimes, there are the rappers who really are bubblegumming it like that. But most of the time, if you listen to lyrical rappers like that, they're not actually just kind of saying nothing. It's all about how much substance they actually put within those fast bars or what they're saying. So if they fit good substance into it and they can do it well, then that's hats off to them. I think they got it. But, if they're not saying much, but just rhyming fast and not really contributing much to a message or telling a story, then I don't really think it's anything worth the time,
Yeah, no, I understand that, man. I mean, I've heard enough fast rap to be like, well, who talks like that? You just know people, they will rap fast just to, fit the rhyme scheme, and, it's easier to rap those words better. But it's like, who says those things in real life? It's like, you only say that because you're trying to fit a flow and stuff. So I understand why people make fun of it. But it's like, when it comes to any style, if you understand it well enough, you can make fun of it. Like that's how I see it.
100% too.
Any style that you get, you can make fun of. Like there's people who make fun of how Kendrick. Like I saw this funny dude on YouTube. He's like, "This is how Kendrick Lamar makes a song," and it's hilarious because it's just like Kendrick's great,
absolutely.
But it's fun to just make fun of things that people have a familiarity to it. But like I totally hear you, man. It's a fine line, and you just have to be able to hit those pockets when you do and not overdo too much. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, definitely. I definitely agree with you too, because there's no reason that a lot of those people are just joking too. They're just tossing jokes around. So like, there's no need to get so butthurt about it. Like everyone's just having a good time. And sometimes it's true. And that's the best part is when it's just like you can laugh at it. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I think it definitely has its time and place, man. And I think just at the end of the day, when it comes to those styles, it's all about sometimes things just gotta sound good, man. And sometimes when people hit certain flows, it just sounds right. You know what I mean? Like I'm a big fan of a good flow. So sometimes I'll just bypass what somebody be saying. I'm like, yo, this shit tight, man. Like yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I hear you on that. Like Logic, they make fun of him a lot. You know how many times he says like Beretta and stuff like that. I don't know if but it's like it sounds cool, you know what I mean?
The man with the plan, goddamn.
Yeah, the man with the that's another one they make fun of him. But it's like, cut the man some slack, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he's been working hard, bro. He was working hard, dude, grinding.
Exactly. Like if you make that many songs, you're gonna repeat yourself every now and then too.
Yeah, dude. If you put in an album out, like what, an album every year, maybe even more than that for 6 years straight, dude, just grinding, like that's gotta wear down on you eventually. Like, I don't think, as cool as it is and as fun as it is to probably tour the world and stuff, I don't feel like fans would ever really understand how tiring that could probably get on your body and mind. Yeah, especially if you might not take care of yourself at that point in time.
Yeah, like we're humans, man. And I think sometimes with these big rappers, people forget like they're human. And that's why, like, when it comes to like, it's funny because rap's the only genre people complain about having writers and stuff like that. But it's like, if you're a big name artist and you're really trying to not repeat yourself or, break certain rules,
a couple writers.
You might just have a couple writers, someone, not like someone that's writing a whole song and go here, rap that, but you might have some people like, yo, say this line or who just writes a chorus for you. Like,
like change that. Like maybe we could someone who could help reformat stuff, just bring you a new way to say the things you've been saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, some people have that and they don't even realize it. Like, you have people who are producing you and co-writing your stuff and helping you say things cooler and better. And there's nothing wrong with that, but rap seems to be that thing where it's like, oh, he has ghostwriters. And it's like,
yeah, And also, rap hates influence.
Yeah.
They hate when you say like, I got an influence, or you show a little bit of that influence within like your music in some way.
Yeah, like, it's strange. Like how original do you need me to be? You know what I mean? Like
in a world like this large, how original really can you be? Is best said like artistry manifests, but no idea is original.
That's some real shit. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and you look at the sampling culture. It's like it's the same thing. It's like we're all just taking from stuff and putting it in our own, doing it with our own interpretation. Like that's really, and I think that's dope to see, man. It's not like people are copying others. It's not copying and doing it verbatim how others are word for word. It's like we're putting our own style and spin on what we're inspired by. It's that simple.
It's our own rendition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all about how you doing, man. That's another thing that has a fine line to it too. Where you're being inspired or you're just like, all right, this dude just completely
something.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So there's definitely that line. So it's up to us as artists to figure out where to tackle that. So I think that's I think that's definitely important, man. But I want to ask you though, man, just what you got going on and the moves you've been making, because you got a lot of songs out, man. So I can definitely tell you've been working. I want to ask you though, what have been some uphills you had to climb, or what's been some struggles that you had to deal with in your career so far?
Oh, damn. All right. So here and there, I guess one of the most, not really like a struggle necessarily, it's kind of like just a little funny thing. I'm sure that
however you want to answer it.
I'm sure as an artist yourself, you probably relate to this too, man. But something that gets on my nerves is like within seconds of posting a post, you get the DM me, promote it here, promote it there, DM this page. And it's like, how did you comment within a millisecond of me posting that? Like 10 comments, and it's all just bots. And it's like, come on.
Yeah.
It's like, if you really cared that much, you DM me. My page is public. Like,
yeah, I'm right here. Just hit me up.
And half the time, their pages are like, the bot pages are private. So you got to follow them too. So then you got to wait. If you do even respond, or they're not necessarily even bots, but they're just like scammers. They're not, I've had my fair share of like when I first started like paying for promotion that I thought was legitimate, and then getting my share of just followers that were there for a moment and then seemingly dipped off because they weren't actually existent people. So I've definitely had my, share of getting ripped off. I've learned the game a lot better for that. So definitely not going to let that happen again. And as far as moving otherwise goes, some of the hardest things, I think, getting to the studio here and there sometimes. Knox can be a busy guy. So when we need to lock in, sometimes it can be hard. He has bigger artists sometimes that got to take precedence here and there. So that gets a little rough, but I'm sure in due time, if things start taking off the way that I hope so, I'll start being one of those bigger artists that'll take precedence, over the smaller dudes that Knox works with as well, just like in my position right now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel you, man. I think that bot's answer is funny, man. I definitely hear you on that. Like, you'll go to your Instagram page, you'll see the notifications. It's just all like, DM us for this, DM us for promo. It's like, it's pretty annoying, man. Instagram has just been getting, I feel like they've just been getting worse and worse with that. Like,
dude, for sure.
Yeah, like you'll see on the big accounts, people like, yo, these bots are taking over, man. Instagram has changed so much from when I really started using it heavily, like in 2018 to now, man. But, social media is one of those things where you just got to figure out how do you utilize it in the best way possible, man. And, we're just trying to find ways to go about that, man. And I think, that, what you said about, working with Knox and, him working with the bigger artists, I think it's good that you have the self-awareness to see that, oh, okay, he's a busy guy. He's got a lot on his plate. And I think, sometimes, artists in the game, we have to understand that we got to understand where we're at. We just have to be realistic. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think a lot of times, in my experience, man, I maybe you've probably seen a lot of artists who are delusional, have delusions of grandeur. You know what I mean? They meet artists who think they're bigger than what they are. And that's the worst. Yeah, it's a damn shame when you come across artists like that, man. So I think it's good that you notice that, and I think you'll be up there very soon, man. With the stuff you're working on. No, for sure, man. You got that song Flashbang. When I heard that, I was like, just the title, the cover, everything about that, the way you promoted it, I was like, I could tell you confident about this one, man. Talk about how you came about making that track.
Yeah, so that's going to be on the upcoming. So like I said a little bit earlier too, we got 2 singles left that'll be coming out. Probably honestly be dropping right around the same time as each other, just to initiate the start of what's coming next after that. So that's part of the collective that I made with Knox, 10 tracks. So all of them are out already, but it'll be under this new collective now that, it's going to be under one place on Apple Music. So instead of having to search for all the singles, everyone can just have it one nice place. The collective is called Flashpoint. So I don't know, people who fuck with like, the Flash and shit will understand, or just like kind of like time, physics and shit.
Yeah.
Like all that stuff. So it's basically essentially the idea that if you were to change an event in time, it would create infinite theoretical timelines with different outcomes of that event each time. So my thing is that no matter so essentially I'm calling it Flashpoint because the music through each timeline that there could possibly be, infinite possible universe and reality, the music that I make with Knox will be so solid that it's standing through all of that.
Damn. Yeah, that's that's a dope concept, man. I like that. I like that. And I think, when you go into any project with that type of concept, man, I just really think you're gonna, cook up something really special, man. So I'm definitely looking forward to that, man. When it comes to making this project, has it been something that's been easy for you to come up with, get busy with, or have you had to really, dig for, that stuff with it? How's that process been working on the project so far? If you want to still let the people know.
Absolutely. So definitely over the course of the time that I was making it started off like we were having fun with it. We were kind of building our chemistries of working together. So that spawned Set the Bar, posters, My Bad. And then we started moving on a little bit more. I got to try one of the ideas I wanted to. I got to sample an anime movie called Akira.
Okay, yeah.
On the song Dante. So that one was super sick. And then going forth, we have A Boy in the Bubble. That was one where Knox and I kind of felt like, you never really talked about like yourself too much. So let's, open up with a little bit of something kind of like your underdog story type of thing, So got that vibe going. And so it was kind of like, it was all pretty easy flowing at first, moving the flow. And then up towards the end, these last two tracks, one being Family Matters. I won't really speak on that one too much yet. I'll just, as that one comes out, it'll go ahead and go. It's a little bit of a deeper one though, for sure. Yeah. And then the other one that's going to be coming out, Mandible, is just like solid, like just bars, man. It's rapping, and it's some of the fast shit too, a little bit. So going back to the roots of a little bit of my old stuff, back in the day. So that was fun. And like you said about Flashbang, now Flashbang's an exciting one, so I'll definitely talk about that one for you.
Yeah, man, break that one down, man. I'm a fan of that one.
On the way to the studio, we was kind of Tim and I were driving up, my brother, my manager, and we were just like, what do we think the vibe's gonna be for today? And I'm like, man, I have no idea. I'm just like, let me think on it. So we take like the next, 2 hours to get there, or whatever. And we pull in finally. So we're sitting in the studio and Knox starts cooking up a little bit. He's opening the sessions, getting everything ready. And I'm just like, yeah, I was like, yo, Knox, I was like, I think I want to do some like, kind of like some like Revenge of the Dreamers type stuff. That was the album that I was bumming at the time, was Revenge of the 3. And I really liked the production style on that. Like, he's like, all right, he's like, what are a couple like songs off that project that you really like? And a couple of them were like more boom bap-ish that I liked. So those are the ones I told him. And then I also told him Up and Away.
Yeah.
With Staples on it. So he when he heard that one, he's like, ooh, he's like, all right. So then he started just going in, and he got it's like a marching band snare. Got so super like almost just like, yeah, it's like a drum line when you hear it. Just
absolutely, yeah.
It's such a cool drum pattern, and so I was really fucking with that. And he came in and it really gave me that kind of like, I almost want to say UK kind of drill type of vibe in a way. Like it gave me like, just like a very like, the bounce of it was very, I don't know. I just like, I can't, the energy in the studio.
Yeah, it's just there. I know. I feel it. I feel you, though.
Down to like, then he added like, as he started going in, he was like on the keyboard on his synthesizer. Like he was messing with like the dials and shit, like just making it make the craziest sounds, man. Like, and that's what he got, like that little, like the freaking at the beginning. It's like, I don't even know. It sounds like a firework almost. It's like, like I don't even know how to describe that, dude. It's just so nuts. So he broke the beat up. It just got that going. Absolutely just tore that apart.
Like I'm about to body this shit.
I remember this was the first time. So I remember he had posted that on his story. And it was like, he posted the beat on his story while we were cooking it up. And I remember Annoyed. I don't know if you're familiar with Annoyed at all.
Yeah, I've heard the name. Yeah.
Yeah, he's signed to Chris Webby, the ADHD.
Okay, yeah, that's okay. I was like, I've heard that name before. Yeah, word up, yeah.
Yeah, so he's dope. I met him one time at Knox's before when they're mixing and mastering a record that he just cut up with him. So it was before my studio session, so I just kind of sat in on them and I recognized him. I was like, oh, dude, I just saw you on like the radio, bro, like the other day. I was like, yeah, because I did not know who it was at first. And then I was sitting there like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's that dude. Yeah.
It just hit me like, yo, this guy can spit too. I was like, man, yo, it's an honor. I was, type shit, like, holy crap. Cause yo, straight up, like that was the first like video I ever saw of him too. And it was just like, damn. Like I don't really see many people like spit like that these days. It was just like every bar was a bar, dude. It's damn. His bars got bars,
Yeah. We got be doing like them crazy entendres and stuff like that, man. Yeah. No, that's dope. I gotta check his stuff out now, man. Sheesh.
It was just wild. So I remember Knox posted on his story, and then Annoy was like, "Yo," he's like, I want that beat," and that was the first time I think that I ever talked. It was gonna be potentially. I was gonna end up getting him on that, which would have been like,
that would have been dope.
Dummy, man. But I sent him over the whole track because by the time that he got around to being able to come up, he said, we finished the record. So we sent him over the whole thing. We're like, yo, we could extend for even a third verse, or we can work around it. Like we can cut up one of the verses, whatever you need, because this would be sick to have you on. And he was just basically like, no, dude. He's like, I don't think you should change it at all. He's like, I think you should keep the record with you, like exactly how it is, and just leave it like that. He's like, this record's good how it is. So I'm fucking with that. And that made me kind of like, damn. I didn't know at first if he was like being like genuine or not. So like I was I felt a little way about it, but over time, definitely I've been talking, I stay in touch with him. So I know it was definitely like a genuine, like, yo, man, I think, you got to do your own thing on this one. Like be yourself and just like, let you speak for you. Like we can like definitely do something in the future,
Yeah.
So.
That's dope, man. That's dope. I think not every track is meant to have a feature on it. Sometimes you just gotta let that shit be you. You know what I mean? Like regardless of how dope the beat is, how much someone else could be on it. It's like sometimes that track just gotta be yours, and it's nothing personal, and it's just how it is, man. So I think it's dope that you made that call to say like, yo, this one's mine. But it's good that in the future you can make something happen, man. So I definitely think that's definitely something I'll be looking forward to if it happens, man, for sure.
Oh, for sure. I know I'm definitely going to be having a little appearance with him for sure on a little something. Cause I don't know if you saw him on his Funk Flex freestyle or not that he did a little while ago. It was like, they were sitting outside, like on the block, just like with like, lawn chairs and, just masked up, just sitting there, and he just spit bars for him. And the beat, dude. Oh man. The beat that he spit over was so nasty, bro. It was produced by, I think, one of his homies. So I hit him up on like Instagram right away. I was like, dude, I need that beat. I was like, I have this album coming up. So after Flashpoint, the collective with Knox, I have an album coming up that I'm going to be dropping hopefully soon. Getting it wrapped up in the final stages right now, so it should be ready. I'm hoping I won't have to, make a slight delay, but whatever has to happen. Because honestly, I want the project to sound as good as it's gonna be before I release it. I don't want to rush anything on it. It's called Get to Know Me. I wrote it over. I want to say I finished the writing, like, man, eight months ago.
Oh shoot! So it's been done for a bit.
It's been in the works. Like we just been trying to give it the best time we can to let everything breathe and make sure that it's quality. So it's been the last year before almost coming up on a year now. Mm-hmm. So basically I burned myself a while back. So last April.
Yeah, I saw that, man.
Yeah, it was Wednesday, April 29th at 3 a.m., man.
And no, I would remember the time and date of that too if it happened to me. That was a crazy injury, man.
It's crazy because I wasn't writing too much before that. Yeah, if I'm being honest, I was kind of slacking. I was just in not the worst space in a sense in my head, but at that point in time, I was just kind of at the worst musical space, I guess. I wasn't living up to what I should have been doing, at least grind wise. I could have been doing so much more at the time that I realized now that I was letting myself get distracted by many other things. But I burned myself, went to the hospital, and even though I didn't have my hand, like, really my hands too much, I had like the bandages or whatever. I was just typing as like much as I could. That's really what started it, was the hospital. So I wasn't doing anything. And then when I got out of the hospital, I couldn't really walk around too much. So I was like just in bed all the time. So
damn, man.
it gave me a lot of time to think. I didn't, and because I couldn't type as fast as I normally could, I feel I second guess myself a lot sometimes.
Yeah.
So I'll be quick to like just get so like frustrated here and there. Or at least back then, I've learned to like cool my jets a bit and take my time with the writing process a lot more. But I feel like I used to just get so frustrated where I wouldn't even let myself get past the first 2 lines without being like, oh my God, bro, this is bad.
This ain't it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the worst, time. Man. Second guessing yourself, man. Yeah, I think. Yeah, man. I think that how are you feeling now though? After that, you fully recovered from that injury though, right?
Man. I'm as recovered as I can be. Bro. My hands are good, my legs are good. My left hand, my left leg got like the worst of it, bro.
Yeah, man. I saw that when it happened. And I was just like, man, that was crazy, But I think you're saying you weren't as creative, and in that position, put you to want to write more. It's very fascinating what those type of crazy moments will put you in, and what will get put out of you, man. So I definitely think it's good that you were able to overcome that and stay positive during that too, man. Because some people could have let that really weigh them down and make them in a bad mindset. But it's good that you stayed on positive during all that stuff, man. For real.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. I think that it also it allowed me to think more. And that, even though it kind of did put me into like a bad space in a way, just being trapped inside, not being able to use my like hands and stuff, play video games, I couldn't do anything at all.
That's
I was just like, damn, I'm just sitting here.
I saw the pictures, man. Yeah.
So, one of those things where I was like, even though it brought me into like a bad mood, it kind of like got me in touch with the music I was writing. So that's like what the whole album is about, everything I went through, because I went through a lot within like just that year,
Sure, man.
Well, yeah, as my girl and I broke up and burned myself, and then some other things here and there that I talked about on the album. So I'm excited to let that happen when it happens. But
you gotta tell your story, man. You know what I mean? No matter what it is, no matter how the people might perceive it, you gotta tell that story and let the people know, man. I definitely think you're gonna deliver with that, man. Considering everything else you've been putting out, so I'll be looking forward to it, man.
Thank you, man. Hopefully the people will enjoy it, man. It's gonna be a little bit to digest, dude. 19 tracks, so definitely a little bit there. I mean, it's more than my first project, and it's 9 more than the Knox Collective that that I made. So definitely. It'll be a good amount of music for the people to digest for sure. And unlike my first project where you've been at, there was 10 tracks and 3 skits, no skits on this one. Nothing.
Right to the music. Yeah.
And I'm excited too, because it's I want to say the stuff Knox and I do very much is pushing for a future sound. Like I said with Flashpoint, music that can last in any time, any point in time.
For sure.
Not that this next project isn't something that I couldn't say wouldn't be considered like classic or maybe timeless in a way, but it's got that that dated sound to it in a way of like it's true into the roots of a little bit more boom bap type shit here and there, a lot more.
Yeah, it's not too much of riding on the trends and what's popping now. So I
got a few modern, like more modern hip hop beats, little trap stuff here and there.
Sometimes you gotta throw it in there. Yeah.
I'll tease this little exclusive. I did my first track ever with auto-tune, actually. Like
really?
On some like I guess like on some Lil Uzi like Polo G type of stuff. I've always.
I was gonna say I don't think I've heard you do auto-tune like the rap or the melody rapping like that. Yeah.
And so that track's actually called Gamble. I named that track.
Okay.
I named that track partially the hook, and also because of it's kind of a gamble, for me to make something with that sound. That's not something people are familiar with from me. And it's just, You know,
Might as well dabble in that sound,
it's
man.
kind of like, like it's a gamble to throw that out there. They could love it or they could dog on me for it,
Yeah,
but
like
whatever
nothing.
it is, man, I'm gonna try it anyways because I'm never gonna be scared to try and do something different or something that I feel like I can do.
For sure, man. Yeah, I mean, like I even feel like your latest single, I ain't asking for much. I almost feel like that's definitely in the that Aaron Brown style that people are used to. But I feel like that's got something different to it as well.
Hell yeah.
Definitely want to ask you about that, man. Talk about what made you want to put that out for the latest single.
Oh, all right. So when Knox and I cooked that one up, we knew it was gonna be like, I don't know, that one was just special, man.
Yeah, man, that's a good.
The record, the record that we cooked up like right before that, actually. So we made we were in the studio for 2 days that weekend, and we were cooking up Einstein at the time, actually.
Okay.
So Knox made that beat in probably like 10 minutes. Just like done.
Quick.
Yeah. So I don't know what he was thinking in his head, but he was just like, I was like, man, that was quicker than normal. Like, whoa. I was like, all right, though. He's like, go out to the guest room for a bit. He's like, I emailed you like that beat. He's like, it's not the full thing. It was just kind of like the basic loop,
Yeah.
Started to, but it was that like the da-na-na-na-na, like the heavy bass. So he sends me out to the guest room to start, I start writing Einstein or whatever. And he's like, just give me like a little bit of time. He's like, I got something. He's like, let me work with it. He's like, if you don't like it, you won't have to use it. But he's like, I need to make this beat like right now. Like,
yeah.
it started going. And as I'm writing Einstein, I was chilling. I had one of my homies with me in the studio, Connell, and we were just chilling. We were tossing ideas back and forth. Like he has a writer's credit on the hook too, because we had this idea for the Slice of the Psycho chick going crazy. She taking the bait. We were trying to figure out. We had the bars and how we wanted to say it. Like we had exactly how we wanted to say it, and I was sitting there like, man, I couldn't get like, for whatever reason, I don't know why I kept adding like an extra word, or like the words I would pick in. Like I was just picking a word like a couple syllables like too long.
Yeah.
And he was just sitting there watching me rap, and it's crazy because he's finally started writing too. He's going to be dropping his own stuff soon, so I'm super proud of him as well.
That's dope.
He's just sitting there watching me, and he's like, just like replace it with this, bro. He's like, you being dumb, bro. Like, what are you doing? and I was like, yo, you right though. And so we were writing that stuff, but then all of a sudden out of nowhere, we're just hearing like it's getting louder from coming out the walls, of inside the studio room. So like, we're just like, yo, what's happening right now? Like, and we just hear this funky bass, dude. Like, it's just so groovy. I peek my head in the door and Knox is just like,
what's going on in here?
Yeah. Bro, like just absolutely going nuts on it. And I'm like, damn, dude, I heard that. And I was like, holy shit. I know this has to be like, we have to go crazy on this one. And, I think the idea for I Ain't Asking for Much spawned from Wu-Tang Clan, actually.
Oh, okay.
Crazy. So the song, like we were talking that whole weekend before that, I was just bumping Travel Pit by Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah.
It's just got that fast-paced vibe.
Yep.
Man, so we went in with that, and then Knox came back with that, and that's, dude, I Ain't Asking, that just reminded me of some like Tame Impala type of like the less I know the better, almost even just mixed with like, oh dude, it was just
Nah, y'all deliver with that one, man.
I can't even I can never describe the stuff Knox does, because it's like always just a different like monster, especially watching him work like in the flesh. He's just like,
he be doing some shit. Yeah.
Oh, he's the nutty professor of that shit, bro.
Yeah, man. I think it's so important to, like we were saying before, man, you gotta have people in your circle who are making you want to step your game up, people who are also talented at what they do. Because as artists in this game, we want to take on everything on our own, and we want to be in that position, but sometimes you gotta have people in the crew who can pull off some crazy shit. You gotta have people who are equally as talented at their field, who are in your circle. Like it's damn near impossible to make it in this game on your own. So I think it's dope to hear you got someone in your corner like that, man.
Hell yeah, yeah. And I wrote most of the record in LA. Actually, that's one of the most exciting things. So I started out I had 2 versions of the song essentially written when I came back to record it. So I was sitting with the beat for a long time because I really wanted to get it like right. So
Yeah, for sure. You're probably like re-listening to it, making sure like what you were doing would fit.
I forget exactly what I said, but I know I originally had paid homage to one of the Wu-Tang. I flipped one of the Wu-Tang Clan bars from within Travel Pit within the song.
Mm-hmm.
And then Knox was like, yo, he's like, it's great. But he's like, just be Aaron Brown though. Which is dope. Which I do fuck with too as well. I definitely appreciate it exactly in that moment too. Especially at this point in time where I am very fresh into, I do have a decent amount of music out, but I still am very fresh into like my discography. I feel like I should be talking about me more. Pay homage when the time is ready and the time is there. But I'm also not, my platform isn't as wide yet to where like people are really receiving the fact that I'm paying homage to the greats. Not many people know Aaron Brown, so I need to give them Aaron Brown before I can
start doing that type of stuff, man. No, for sure. And I think I've been in connection with what you've been doing for a couple of years now, man. I can definitely tell you're getting a lot better at, telling your story. And that's one of the toughest things for artists to do, man. So, that's something you definitely don't want to rush, but I really think you're working your way up there with that, man. I've seen the elevation of what you've been doing in the last year or two, man. So I definitely think, you just got to stay on it, that repetition, man, you know what I mean? And I'm definitely looking forward to the projects you got coming out this year, man, for real.
Hey, thank you, bro. Thank you,
man.
Man.
For real, man. We're coming up to the end of the episode here, man, but I'm definitely very appreciative of having you on the platform, man. We've been in talks for a bit, so I'm down. Man. We're down to make it happen now, man, for real.
Yeah, absolutely. Blessed for you to have me on here, bro. And always an amazing opportunity. It's always a fun time running into you, getting to speak with you as well, bro. We got to get a joint going too.
Yes, no, we definitely do, man. We'll definitely chop it up after. I got a few things that I could definitely see you hopping on, man.
So yeah, dude.
I'll definitely keep you posted on that, man. Trust me on that, man. Yeah, no, they gonna need that one. That's for sure. Yeah. I wasn't gonna say nothing, but after, I mean, we can let them know. We definitely got something we gotta be working on, man. Is there anything you want to plug for the people before we get out of here? Where can they follow you?
Absolutely, man. You can follow me on my YouTube, Aaron Brown Official. My Instagram, Aaron Brown Official. My Twitter is I'm Aaron Brown. You can also follow me on Twitch if you really want to, but I don't really do too much on there. But I plan to be live streaming games sometimes, making beats, freestyling, writing, all that stuff. I plan on just giving an eye in on my process, like a whole lot more. So you can follow me on there, twitch.tv, Naval Fusion.
Okay. Hell yeah, man. Aaron Brown, thank you very much for being on the podcast, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me.
Hell yeah, man. Episode 97, y'all, the TempahZone podcast. Thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure you tune in next week for another one, all righty? Peace out.